back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hope and I am a senior portrait photographer serving both Charleston and Savannah, and this YouTube channel is where I share education for photographers as well as a little bit of a peek into my life living in the Low Country, and today's video is gonna be really good. I say that about every video, but I promise it's true. Today's video is a sneak peek of something brand new that is going to be coming next week. So if you are not subscribed to this channel, if you don't follow me on Instagram, if you're not on my mailing list, and you wanna know what the exciting thing is, then you can find information for all of those things in the description down below. But if you watched last week's video, then you heard me talk a little bit about 5 big changes that I'm making in my senior portrait business in 2022. I know it's a weird time to be making huge changes in my business. I typically don't do that until like the slow off season in the December, January, March, February-ish timeframe. Just jumbled all those together, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of a sneak peek into one of those big changes that I talked about that I'm making. And that change is that I'm doing a massive overhaul of my senior style guide. And if you've ever watched a senior video on this channel, you've heard me talk about the value of educating your senior clients before their session, to walk them through what to wear, how to prep, what the experience is going to entail. It was a game changer in my senior photography business when I went from feeling frustrated that my clients were showing up in jeans and white t-shirts and they were late with barely any makeup on when they showed up. And it was just really frustrating for me to feel like my clients didn't care about the experience and I wasn't able to create images that I was proud of and that reflected the clients that I wanted to photograph. But now I have made that completely my responsibility because I've recognized that they have probably never gotten professional photos done ever in their life. So it's my job as the professional with almost a decade of experience to teach them and gently educate them on the outfits that photograph well, what to expect at their session, why professional hair and makeup is an investment that's worthy of their time. All of those things are things that it's my job to teach my clients, right? So to this point, for the last 8 years, I've had a senior style guide that I send to my clients once they book. It's been very short, 10 to 12 pages long, but gives them a kind of an overview of what they need to do to prep, what to wear, and how to go into their session knowing what to expect, right? But I have now noticed that since I've increased my pricing, since I've moved into a new market, and since I've been working with some amazing seniors in the Charleston and Savannah area who are so excited about their senior experience, that style guide is actually now lackluster. Something that I used to think was a huge winning point of my client experience now feels like it's a little bit lackluster and just not enough to help them sufficiently prepare for their session with me. Because now my seniors want to include props, they want to highlight their sports, they want to highlight the college that they're going to, they want to incorporate the pink Figgy car that you have seen me photograph with. They want to do all of these grandiose things that I have absolutely no education on in that 10 to 12 page style guide. So now I am creating a brand new 60+ page style guide for my clients to give them quite literally everything they could need to know about their session and more before they ever show up to their session. It's an incredible first touch point of their client experience. It's beautifully designed and so on brand, so it just visually feels like a huge value add. And it's actually strategic, and I think, haven't launched it yet, haven't started using it yet, but I'm pretty confident that it's gonna help me make more money off of all of my senior sessions. So I can't show you all 60+ pages because that would take forever, but I do wanna show you 3 of the biggest things that I'm adding to this guide that I think are gonna be some of the most valuable changes from my client experience perspective. So here's a little peek into what the 60+ page guide looks like. I designed it in Canva. I'm so proud of it. Come back next week for a sneak peek into how you can buy this and customize it yourself. But let me walk you through the 3 things that I added that I'm most proud of and most excited for in terms of my client experience. So this section right here is my outfit inspiration section. And to this point, I had 2 or 3 pages that had some tips and tricks for what to wear and what types of outfits photographed best. But I have taken it 10 steps farther in this guide because I still had seniors who were confused on what would photograph well. They were sending me pictures of all of these outfit options, but didn't feel like they had a clear picture of exactly what they should be wearing. So this outfit inspiration section, the pages above this have all of those tips and tricks and kind of some general pro tips for what to wear at their shoot. But I have now taken really stellar senior sessions, girls and guys who have crushed it with their outfits in terms of of colors and style and variety. And I have created these inspiration pages for my seniors. So it highlights a handful of images from the previous shoots, has a little blurb about why I thought their looks were so great, and then bullet points about the specific things that they did that made their outfits photograph beautifully and create amazing variety in their final gallery. So there's 5 of these pages that walk through a variety of different seniors with different styles and different locations, but all of them had one thing in common, and it was that they crushed it with their outfits. So I think that having this visual of actual seniors that have done it before, plus the opportunity to click a button and see the full blog post for even more visuals, is going to be so, so helpful. I think going from just a handful of tips that are typed out in a long text format to an actual visual representation and real life examples of applying those tips to a shoot is going to be a game changer for the seniors that are really wanting to level up their outfits. The second part that I am adding to my guide that I did not have at all in my previous style guide is a props and accessories section. And this section is really built out. It's like 10 pages in itself, talking about all of the different things that you could bring with you to your shoot, from sports gear to being a ballerina and wanting to bring your point shoes and your tutu, which is also a sport for the record, and to my people who are artists that want to highlight their work, my seniors that love reading. I had a senior one time who flew planes and wanted to be a pilot, and so we went to an amazing airport and shot a session with like an old school plane. So this literally walks through anything and everything that you could bring with you to your shoot and how to customize the session to feel like you and make it unique from everybody else's senior session. So there's a props and accessories section that talks about the basics of what props to bring, talk specifically about bringing flowers, friends, pets, the pink figgy, because I get questions about that all the time. I have a section about sports and hobbies, a section about cap and gown pictures, a section about college gear, and then we move into frequently asked questions. But just building out a section that allows them to see all the different possibilities of ways that they can customize their session and make it feel like them is such a level up from my previous style guide, because I didn't mention it at all. And I felt like a handful of my seniors had ideas of ways that they wanted to customize their session, but they just didn't even really know that that was an option because I didn't tell them that it was an option or educate them about the possibilities of ways that they could personalize their shoot. So I'm really excited to see that the impact that this has on my senior sessions and the ways that they feel so true to each individual client versus just having the same exact like outfits and locations for every single person. I think this is really going to make each session feel more unique. And then the last thing that I added is the one that I'm most excited about from a strategy perspective, because if you've watched any of my previous videos about being a shoot and share photographer, then you know that I include digital galleries of high resolution images in all of my client packages. So that means that I don't do in-person sales meetings. I don't really push for print and product sales. They have the option to buy prints and products through their online gallery with the program that I use called CloudSpot. But to this point, I haven't really pushed for those print and product sales. It just hasn't really been a huge part of my client experience, aside from briefly mentioning it when I say goodbye to them at their shoot. But I have now built out an entire section of this guide that walks through how to use your gallery and how to order and design each type of product that they can purchase in their print shop. So we have this little section about when to expect your gallery, what to expect in the gallery, how to use it, how the gallery is going to be structured. But then we move into this section about printing your images. I talk about the value of having your physical images printed and having products to display in your home. And I talk through the process of purchasing each of these individual things. So here's where you can access the shop. Here's how the prints work and how to crop them to be sure that you aren't cutting off anybody's head. Here's how to design an album or a photo book. Here's how to design a graduation card. And I really talk them through the process of doing it to make it really easy, as well as the value of printing their images and visual examples of clients who have done that in the past. So I'm really pumped to see how this affects my print and product sales just by going the extra mile and showing them, 1, that it's even an option, 2, that it's really easy, and 3, explaining my heart behind why I think it's so valuable to have their physical products printed. So I hope this was insightful to see. I hope you're as excited about this style guide as I am. I haven't been as proud of a project as I am about this in a really long time. This has been weeks in the making, if not months, and this has been one of the things that has been most in demand in my business for years now. You guys have wanted to be able to have a customizable version of this, and I just didn't feel like the 10 to 12 page version that I had was enough. And so I've made a brand new 60+ page version, and I'm so excited to use it in my own business and also so so excited to release it to you guys starting next week. So be sure to subscribe to my channel. My goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers this year, and I'm just so grateful to have you tuning in, and I'll see you next week for a really exciting announcement. Bye guys.